fantastically democratic technology can make a small amount of people a lot of money.
The idea is to take a look at your beliefs that get between you and another person in your relationship, and we create a brand new relationship, which is what each of these boxes represents, is that entire transformation. Take a look at the negative stuff, because that's actually what separates us from others. So jealousy might be one of those things, or you may feel as though a parent never gives you the support that you want, things like that. Those are really the stories that stop us.
I was incarcerated at Coffee Creek, and that was when Adrian first came to the prison, and we got to do a box for our children. So I started looking for pictures that kind of fit my son and fit me and where I was at and what my life was like. This is my first box, and on the front there's this clock, and it's like a broken clock. And that kind of represented to me the time that I had broken from him, because I had promised him all the time in the world, and I broke that with my addiction and my alcoholism.
This I made for my father. Now, my relationship with my father was, as a child, was just awful. He was a child sex offender, and I was his first victim at 5. And so the relationship I had with him as grown, as you can imagine, was painful. It was filled with animosity. There wasn't a lot of communication going on. For me, it was survival. How do I survive the next day with him? For him, it was how do I survive the next day, period. And so this was one of the first boxes I did to just kind of honor him, honor the man inside. So with my father, for example, when I was 21, I actually turned him in. And that gave us the first opportunity we ever had to just talk about what happened. There was a new dimension to the relationship, and so by the time I became an adult and started doing this, it was much easier for me to be able to relate to him as a human being rather than the monster that I had held him to be all my life.
For one of the few times of my life, I got real with myself and put it on this box. It was because it was something I needed to do for myself. Some
of the boxes you'll see, you know, it deals with alcoholism in the family, or it might deal with drug abuse, or it might deal with sex, or understanding emerging sexuality. You know, if someone was a lesbian and not knowing how to deal with it, it came out on the box.
When it came time for me to do this box, I was tired of that life, you know, of always going back to drinking and doing drugs again. I always went back to that self-destructive lifestyle, and I got tired of doing that, so I wanted to do something different. And that's what doing this box helped me to do, realize that that was a part of my life I needed to really work on and need to do something about.
My concentration is kind of scattered, so when I had the box to concentrate on, it was like I lost myself in that box. And I I was me for just a moment. And after each box I created was a lot of relief. I found a lot of ways to kind of find an ending or closure to each one that I did.
Different people are going to open up at different levels, and anyone who even considers doing this already is in the process of transforming their relationship. So at whatever level they're at, however deep they go, they've gone deep. And some people are unaffected. You know, they say they're unaffected, but that's very rare.